Happy Forge of the Chaos Dwarves launch trailer day, everybody. I'm Redbeard. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to do a mod showcase. My first time ever doing a mod showcase, and it's for my mod, starting Armies Rework. But I do think I want to make maybe more mod showcases in the future for not my mods. But anyway, so I will also be showcasing another mod, no elector count state upkeep, state troop upkeep, because I add elector count state troops into this mod. So that mod makes sure that you don't get makes sure that you don't get hit, slapped with upkeep issues. So, but for the overview of the starting army rework, this mod changes all the starting armies for legendary lords and the enemy armies they are pitted against on its first turn. The idea is to make the first turn more fun, challenging, and less auto-resolvable with cleaner armies. Players' starting armies will now represent what the skills, traits, and landmark buildings that their lord's faction is gearing them towards more effectively. Also, you will see better roster variety across the different lords of each race and get to use units you might not otherwise. The armies now feel like they are more fine-tuned into a coherent strategy. Generally, player armies have seen slight to moderate buffs, and for the enemy, moderate to significant buffs. This is for every lord, though, so it feels like it's better balanced, in my opinion. Yeah, I tried to add more unique units to starting armies, like Blessed Spawnings, WA units, Elector Count State Troops, which I was talking about. Yeah, notes for the future. I didn't meticulously test every army like in Warhammer 2, but because it would have taken too much time. I tested enough with what I know, now know, that most of it should be where I wanted it. I wanted to remake it using script, but it's a process, so I still need some time to learn. So for now, I just wanted to get the mod back out there to help you hold you guys over until Chaos Dwarves. This mod will no longer work when the Chaos Dwarves release, at which time I'll try to upload a new version, including the stunties. Until then, enjoy. So you basically have a month to use this mod. And then, again, I want to make I'll do my best if I can make the time for it to remake it for the Chaos Dwarves. So compatibility, it is a start position mod, so any other start position mods it will not be compatible with, like Mixu's mods. I was also not shy in adding DLC units wherever I thought appropriate, as I have all the DLC and FLC. I imagine it will work fine if you don't, but might crash if you pick a lord with a DLC unit you don't have. If anyone has or is missing DLC and FLC and can test this and comment, I will update at least the mod description. But yeah, have you ever thought to yourself, man, these first turns are too auto-resolvable, it's turn 10 already, and I haven't manually fought a battle yet. Why does Volkmar start with great swords? Why doesn't my lord have more units they actually buff? Did CA think about the strategy playing with this army? My starting enemy is weak and boring. I wish I could see more of each roster on turn 1. Give me my tier 5 starting units back, because in Warhammer 2 there were quite a few more tier 5 starting units in armies. So, anyways, let's get to it. I'm just going to briefly go through every lord and show you. So, as you can see, we have some changed units across the board, and that's for all races. I want to jump into Karl Franz real quick, just because, as I said in the description, I've also changed the enemy starting army, so that's what. And I'll showcase the elector count state troop upkeep thing here as well. So yeah, I don't know how worth it this mod is, with only a month before the Chaos Dwarves, and then it'll be defunct after that. But if you guys enjoy it, then it was worth it. So. Oh, dude, I'm super duper excited for the Chaos Dwarves. Maybe, I can just make a little mod for the starting armies for the Chaos Dwarves. At least. Because that won't take that long. It's doing all the races together. That takes a while. Alright, come on. Come on. Any day now. Take a little sip of the water. Alright, here we go. Okay, so Karl Franz is, he's definitely got a buffed army from what he starts with in vanilla. Eventually, two things kind of off track, but eventually I think Emperor Karl Franz needs a legendary hero. There are so many characters that you could add for the Empire that, like, Karl Franz at least needs a legendary hero. And I think a couple DLC legendary lords for the Empire could also have legendary heroes. There are just so many characters for the Empire that are missing. Anyways, that's a side thing. I also, for this mod, eventually, when I get it in script, want to make sure every single legendary lord starts with a hero. Not necessarily a legendary hero, but just starts with a hero. Or starts with a hero that fits them better. Like Drycha, or Draco, however you say it. Definitely wish she started with a branch wraith. Anyways, back to the matter at hand. So, Karl Franz, attacking Helmut. So let's see what Helmut's army is. Well, actually, I didn't say this. So, here we go. 193 upkeep. Typically, all of these would be double the price, I believe, if the Elector Count State Troops upkeep mod was not on. So that's why their upkeep looks normal and not super duper high. So yeah, but now let's... Oh yeah, so he's got Karl Franz. I gave him the Karaberg Greatswords. I didn't want to give him more than one because that would be OP. I think 2 halberdiers to watch the flank, anti-large, 2 swordsmen to take missile fire and defend, and 2 crossbowmen because I think I wanted to give handgunners to Balthazar. I wanted Balthazar to feel like the gunpowder guy because I think he also buffs handgunners and Karl Franz does not. Reichsguard, obviously, and then Hellstorm Rocket Battery, which I wanted to give to Balthazar as well, but because, in like the Immortal Empire's 1-year anniversary trailer or whatever, you see Balthazar with Hellstorm, but I thought giving Balthazar more artillery would be better. I'll get to Balthazar in a second, though. So Helmut, as you can see, the enemy starting army, I also changed to be a little bit stronger. I think they only had swordsmen and crossbowmen. Maybe 1 spear, I think. And it was like 6 units. So I buffed the army, gave them a mortar, gave them 2 halberdiers. Yeah, so they'll put up more of a fight even, we got close victory. It says casualties low, but if you don't fight the 2 battles, even with replenishment, I think you're going to lose you're going to take a lot of casualties. And even if I, let's give him that one. And you really see, yeah, I lose a unit. That's what I was aiming for with my changes. I don't know if I hit it with every single lord, but that you lose 1 unit per army if you decide to try to auto-resolve through the first turn. So yeah, that about shows what I need to show with that. So let's go back to the main menu, and now let's go through every single lord. I'm going to try to really make each one brief, though, but this is just to show it if you are wondering exactly what I changed. It would take way too long for me to take screenshots of every single lord. I might do it for my next version. I'm not doing it right now. I do not have the time for that. Okay, so Karl already went through him. Balthazar, we gave him 1 Outrider, 2 Spearmen with shields, the Hammer of the Witches, because you're going to be fighting vampire counts early on. I tried not to give too many RORs out, and I know some people don't like that. Maybe in my next version I'll keep RORs completely out, we'll see. But I just... Hammer of the Witches is a great ROR, and you're fighting vampire counts early on, and it's Balthazar Gelt. It felt right to me. 2 Handgunners, 1 Eldritch Guard, because more I think would be OP. So I gave them, they have Encourage. I didn't give them that. So putting the Eldritch Guard right between your Spearmen, you got a nice solid front line there. And then, interestingly enough, Suit Sons guns, mortars. So again, really useful and it fits Balthazar really well. Obviously, you're not in Talabakland, which I'm pretty sure is where that Stute troop comes from. But I just thought it really fit, so I put it in. And again, throughout the races, I try to add more unique units to really make the starting armies more flavorful. So anyways, Marcus. Okay, we gave him 2... So he's one of the bigger armies. I might nerf down, because they did this in Warhammer 3, that some of the armies start with like 12 or 13 units, or 11 units. In Warhammer 2, I really don't remember that. Like, I remember starting with like 8 or 10. So, I kept Marcus that way, but I might nerf it in the future. So 2 Nordland Mariners, because Marcus is from Nordland. 3 Archers, again, an ROR, but this is the only war wagon I like, and it just, I don't know, I want it. That's the one I wanted, so I put it in. 3 Spearmen with shields and 2 Huntsmen. Then we got Volkmar. He's got 1 Knights of the Everlasting Light. You're really going to get slapped with Upkeep if you don't put on the State Troops Upkeep mod. So, but I just thought that unit fit, magic attacks, and he buffs Empire Knights. 2 Flagellants, 3 Free Company and Militia, 1 Sigmar's Son, another ROR, but, the Unbreakable with the Flagellants just is a solid unit. And then a Luminarch of Hysh, which is very powerful, especially when you're fighting a lot of undead. This of all the armies I changed is probably the one I think needed it the most. He started with like great swords, a mortar, handgunners. I think it's the worst starting army in vanilla. It's bad, in my opinion. I think there's just no real clear-cut strategy with it. So let's look at the other Game 1 starting races. So, Dwarfs. Thorgrim, we gave him a more elite army. This is a moderate buff, but we definitely made his enemies harder to counter it. But he's also the faction leader. With faction leaders, I was like, I can maybe buff them a little bit more, because to make them feel like, they're the leader of the race. Anyways, so I think I gave him 2 cannons, 1 hammer, 2 thunderers, 2 longbeards, and 1 gyrocopter with brimstone gun. I gave the gyro bomber over to Thoric because, not Thoric. What am I saying? Belagar, because he buffs war machines. Thorgrim does not. He buffs artillery. I gave him 2 cannons. But still, gyrocopters are very famous for being at Karazakarak. So, fits lorefully. Okay. And generally I gave, I think, all of them artillery except Belagar, but the army he confederates early on has artillery, so he basically starts with it anyways. Okay, so Ungrim. We left 1 Trollhammer Torpedo for the anti-large range, and then we also gave him a flame cannon, because I forget in which, I think it's in the end times, he becomes the avatar of fire at some point. So, for giving him an artillery, that felt like the right one to me. And it's kind of shorter range, so, it has to move with the army a little more than other artillery might have to. Anyway, so Slayers. I think we gave him 2 Slayers, 2 Rangers, and then 1 Giant Slayer or 2 Giant Slayers. Yeah. He's going to get a lot of Slayers in the beginning anyways. You give him, I think, Rangers fits his army the best with the great weapons, so the throwing axes. And then just more Giant Slayers to start with to really say that he's the Slayer King. Belagar. Couldn't give him too much because he already has 4 legendary heroes, and yeah, upkeep is hard. So I think we give him 1 Bugman's Rangers, 2 Rangers, 2 Miners of Blasting Charges, and 1 or 2 Dwarf Warriors, something like that. Okay, so Grombrindle, I think we gave him 2 Dwarf Warriors with great weapons, 1 Longbeard great weapon, 2 Quarrelers with great weapons, 1 Iron Drake or 2 Iron Drakes, and then 1 Gyro Bomber. Thoric. So we gave him Iron Breakers, 1, 2 Dwarf Warriors, 2 Quarrelers. We'll get back to that. 1 Grudge Thrower and a Yoked Carnosaur. I figured, he gets a dino. He's down in the Southlands. Like, give him that unique unit. Make him feel. Help us understand how he's different. With the starting army. A little more. Okay, and then let's go over to Greenskins. Okay, so like I said, I wanted to add WA units in. So, Grimgore Ironhide. We gave him 2 Orc Boys, 2 Lava Spider Rider Archers. That's the WA unit I gave him. 2 Orc Biggins, 1 Doomdiver Catapult. I liked him having that. He's over in the Darklands, closer to Chaos Dwarf technology. I don't know. And then 1 Black Orc. Gave him the Lava Spider Rider Archers, again, because he's by the Darklands. So he's by volcanic shit. It made sense to me. I don't know. When you look at the other lords and what I gave them. So, Azag. Feral Hydras are known to be in the northern World's Edge Mountains where Azag starts, so that's why I gave him that one. Then I considered giving him the Wyvern, obviously, but he gets the mount, so, and you don't see any Wyverns flying overhead. With Wurzag, you do. Okay, so, finishing Azag. Goblin Rock Lobbers. And 1 of those 2 Orc Air Boys, 2 Orc Biggins, or 3. And then I don't really like any of the Orc Boar Boy units. They're just so slow and don't hit hard enough, and I don't know. But the ROR version isn't bad, and Azag is the only one that buffs the Boar Cavalry, I think. So I gave him the ROR just to make it feel more worthwhile. Yeah, so Skarsnik, we gave him the Lava Ragnarok Spider in place of his regular one. We gave him 2 Armored Squig Hoppers because I would just rather have the armored version. And then we just made the rest of it Night Goblin Fanatics and Night Goblin Archers. I think 2 and 2 or something like that. 3 and 2. Wurzag. So we gave him 2 Savage Orc Air Boys, 2 Savage Orc Biggins, 1 Savage Orc Boar Boys, and 1 Feral Wyvern, I think. Yeah. I didn't give him the Orc Boy Biggins just because, I don't know. I feel like you should wait to get that. I think these ones are kind of a little bit better? No, I don't know. Okay. Grom, so we gave him the Super Squigs. You'll lose them the first turn. There's 2 of them, but, like he's got enough. Anyways, 1 Goblin Rock Lava, 2 Goblins, 2 River Trolls, 2 Snotling Pump Wagons with Spiky Rollers, and 1 Stone Troller, I think is how I line that up. Okay, moving on to Vampire Counts. We have 2 Graveguard and 2 Graveguard with great weapons, 2 Dire Wolves, 2 Black Knights, and 1 Terrorgeist, I think. Might be 1 Graveguard with great weapon, I can't remember. This one's obviously a very expensive unit, but it's cool, and I think it fits Manfred probably Breast, so whatever. It will help him early on, too, with the breath attacks. Okay, so Kemmler. You have him 2 Spearmen. Actually, I don't remember the numbers so much on this one. I think we gave him 2 Dire Wolves, 2 Cairn Wraiths, maybe 2 Zombies and 2 Skeleton Spearmen, 1 Black Coach, and 1 Hax Wraith, I believe. With Vlad and Isabella, you can't actually see all their units because they have some tables that they share. So they both are going to get 2 Vargheists, I think, 2 Handgunners, 2 Crossbowmen, because I wanted to highlight, again, those unique units more. Isabella, I think, gets the Vargulf and Cryptghouls and an extra Vargheist or something. Vlad gets the Blood Knights and something else, I think. Oh, Graveguard, I think. Okay, and then Helmut gets, it's pretty much the same. I think I gave him 1 more Unholy Lodestone. So 2 of these, 2 of these, 2 to 4 of those? I don't remember. And then like 2 to 4 of those, and then the Mortis Engine. Okay, so moving on to other Warhammer 1 races. Warriors of Chaos, which was the next kind of one. So I wanted to make Arcane more to Undivided so that you could just choose what gods you want to upgrade your units into when you unlock it, I guess. That's the only downside. Some people might not like that. Some people, I think, will like it. I like it. So 2 Marauders, 2 Marauder Horsemasters. So this way you get 2 units that you can upgrade to Chaos Knights as soon as they get the experience. 2 Chosen with great weapons, which you can make into Inspiring Champions if you want. 1 Inspiring Champion, 1 Chaos Spawn. And then we go over to Collect. So we have 2 Forsaken, which I just replaced the Marauders. So for more of that monstrous feel in his starting army. And then everything else I think I kept the same because it felt pretty good. 2 Trolls, 2 Chaos Warhounds with Poison, 2 Dragon Ogres, I think. Sigvald, we made him all Slaanesh, so focused on infantry, Chaos Warriors of Slaanesh, Marauders, Warriors of Slaanesh, Hell Scourges, Marauders of Slaanesh, Chaos Warshine of Slaanesh, and Chariots of Slaanesh. Azazel, kind of the same, but a little more bestial focused. Chaos Knights, Marauder Horsemen, Manticore, Spawn of Slaanesh, 1 Chosen, 2 Chaos Warriors. Festus, we got Chaos Trolls, 2 of those, 1 of those. Bilious Thunderguff, gave him the ROR for the Nurglish Giant. Chosen a Nurgle, great weapons, 1. 2 of these guys, 2 of these guys, I think. Valkia, we gave 2 Chaos Furies of Khorne, 1 Skull Crusher, 2 Marauders, 2 Warriors with dual weapons, 1 Chosen dual weapons, 1 Warhound and 1 Harpy, I think. Okay, and then Village, we gave 2 Marauder Horsemen of Tzeentch, 2 Forsaken, 1 Doom Knight, 1 Chosen, and 1 Spawn. Be'lakor is definitely, if I had to, I think is the only army I did this with, but is a significant buff. But he's Be'lakor, you know? I want to feel pretty powerful, but the Lord of Change you have to fight, the enemy starting army, is much more powerful. Not much more powerful than Be'lakor, but much more powerful than in vanilla. So I wanted to highlight that he gets demons more than the other Warriors of Chaos. I gave him 2 Bloodletters, 2 Pink Horrors, 2 demonettes, 2 plague bearers, and then again you can upgrade them into Exalted if you get enough experience. And then I gave him a Soul Grinder of Nurgle and Tzeentch, because he's the Soul Grinder guy in the Realms of Chaos campaign. At least I want at least one Soul Grinder with him in my starting army. I was gonna do just one, but I decided to throw a second one in because it's Be'lakor, Okay, so now let's go to Beastmen. So Khazrak gets 2 Goreherd, 2 Bester Goreherd, 2 Razor Gore Chariot, 2 Ungor Raider, and 2 Chaos Warhounds with Poison. If I'm remembering that right. That is how it all shakes out. Malagor, we get 2 or 3 Ungor Herd, 2 Ungor Raider, 2 Harpy, 1 Manticore, or maybe it was 2 Spear, Ungor, 2 regular, and then the Eye of Morslib, Cygor. So I gave these 3 at least ROR big guys, because I love the Beastmen, and I wanted that. Khazrak didn't get that, but, I just don't think he needed it. So yeah. Morgur, Chaos Spawn, I think we might have given him 2 Ungor Spearmen, 2 Senegor's Throwing Axe, 2 Gore Herd with Shield, and then 1 Vorbrugland Broodmother, Jabberslythe. And then for Torox, we had to give him back Gorgon, but it's the Blood Brute Behemoth. Loreful to be in that area. 2 Razor Gore Horde, 2 Ungor Herd, 2 Senegors regular with the shields, and 2 Minotaurs with a dual axe anti-infantry. Let's see what Elves. Let's do it in order. Orion, we gave him 2 Internal Guards, 2 with shields, 2 Way Watchers, 2 Wild Riders with shields, and 2 Glade Riders with Hagbane tips. Durthu, we gave him 2 Glade Guard with Starfire Shafts, 2 Dryads, 1 Treekin, 1 Zote, and 1 Treeman. Sisters of Twilight, 2 War Dancers with Azrai. Oh my god. 2 War Dancers with Azrai Spears, 2 Great Eagles, 2 Hawk Riders, 2 Deepwood Scouts with Swift Shiver Shards. Drycha, we got 2 Malevolent Dryads, 1 Forest Dragon, 1 Treekin, or 2 Treekin? 1 Treekin? Oh, I think it was also 3 or 4 Malevolent Dryads, 1 Forest Dragon, 1 Treekin? 1 Giant Spider. And then let's go over to Brettonia. So Lewin's army was pretty good, but in Warhammer 2-1 he had Field Trebuchets. I think he had 2 of them. I just gave him 1 just to have it back. I do like how they changed his Starving army. I think in Vanilla it's 1 Archer, 2 Spearmen, 2 Knight Errant, 2 Knight of Realm. I switched the Archer with a Pegasus Knight. Yeah. So it's 2 Knights, 2 Knights, 1 Field Trebuchet, 2 Spearmen at Arms, 1 Pegasus Knight. Alberic, we got 2 Foot Squires, 1 Foot Squire, 2 Men at Arms with Shields, 2 Knights of the Realm, 1 Pegasus Knight, 2 Peasant Bowmen with Pox Arrows. Faye Enchantress, we gave her 1 Blessed Field Trebuchet, 2 Battle Pilgrims, 2 Peasant Bowmen with Pox Arrows, 2 Peasant Mob, 1 Grail Reliquary, and 1 Grail Guardian. Rapunzel, we gave her 2 Spearmen with Shields, 2 Questing Knight, 2 Peasant Bowmen with Fire Arrows, which will really help kill the undead, 2 Foot Squires, 1 Foot Squire, and 1 Blessed Field Trebuchet. What else? What do we have? Norsca, right? That's the only one I didn't hit. Okay, for game 1. Okay, so Norsca, 2 Marauder Horsemasters, 2 Marauder Hunter Javelins, because he gives Worm Piercer in his skills he gives Worm Piercer ammunition for all Javelin units. So, you should probably start with them. One Marauder Champion, 2 Marauder Berserkers, 1 Feral Mammoth. Throg, we gave him 2 Norsca Trolls, 1 Frostworm, because he buffs Frostworms. He also buffs from Mirror. And I gave him the Mist Stalkers ROR because they're Mist Demons, you know, and they have stock, and that makes them really fit into this army well. 2 Norse Controls, 2 Norscan Ice Wolves. Got a nice bestial army, no Humies. Okay, so let's get into Warhammer 2. High Elves. Tyrion, we gave him 3 Silverin Guard, which some may argue makes his army pretty darn strong in the beginning. Definitely at least the moderate buff. But he reduces their upkeep so much that it felt fine to me. I gave his starting army, his enemy starting army, enough to put some casualties on him. So 3 Silverin Guard, 2 Silver Helms, 2 Lothran Sea Guard with shields, 1 Flamespire Phoenix. Techless, we gave him Terranok Chariots, 2 Archers, 2 Spearmen, 1 Arcane Phoenix, 1 Swordmaster, and 1 Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower. Alariel, we gave her 2 War Lions, we gave her 2 Dryads, 2 Spearmen, and 2 Sisters of Avalorn. Alith, we gave him 2 Rangers, 2 Illyrian Reaver Archers, 3 Shadow Walkers, 1 Frostheart Phoenix. Eltharion, we gave him 2 Sentinels of Starl, 2 Archers, 2 Spearmen, 1 Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower, and 1 Athel Tomorrow Faith Bearer. His other army, I gave, I think, a War Lion Chariot. Imric. Archers with light armor. Only time I used those, but felt right for him. 2 White Lions of Trace, just because, I don't know, they feel right in his army. And I didn't know where else to put them. 1 Dragon Prince, and it's good against his starting army, which is Dwarfs. 1 Dragon Prince, 1 Sun Dragon, just like vanilla. Okay, let's bump over to Dark Elves. Malekith, 2 Dark Shards with shields, 1 Cold and 1 Dread Knights. I was considering the Black Dragon, but I put this one instead. Less upkeep. 2 Blackguard of Nagarond, 2 Bleak Swords, and 1 Reaper Bolt Thrower. Give him back his Reaper Bolt Thrower, come on. Marathi, we gave her a bunch of more Slaanesh themed, 1 Witch Elves. This is the only Lord I gave multiple RORs. So we gave the Siren of Red Ruin, really good, oh my god, starting ability here for a starting unit. Whale of Malice, plus, you know, I like the Bloodwrack Medusa, and it fits her lore, because she's the reason that these exist. Slaanesh's Harvesters, Doomfire, again, going for the Slaanesh theme. Doomfire Warlocks are very thematic to Marathi's army. 2 Demonettes of Slaanesh, 2 Shades, she buffs Shades really well, so, with great swords, which you probably wouldn't get otherwise if it wasn't in the starting army. 1 Raven Heralds with Repeater Crossbow. So the Raven Heralds are Marathi's Heralds. And they're a nice piece with this army. You can harass enemies and get them into positions that they might not otherwise. Crone Hellebron. We also gave her 2 Doomfire Warlocks just to have another element besides melee infantry. I feel like they kind of fit. I gave him 2. 1 Harganeth Executioner, 3 Witch Elves, and 2 Sisters of Slaughter. Lokir, 4 Handbows, 3 Black Ark Corsairs, and 1 Charybdis. Malice, we gave 2 Black Ark Corsairs, or 3, 2 regular Shades, 2 Cold One Chariots, and 2 Cold One Knights, because he's the Cold One guy, so let's make him more about that, right? Then Rakarth, It's a really interesting army. He's got 2 dread spears, pretty much just a guard, the bolt thrower. 2 feral cold ones, good armor piercing on those guys, fast. 1 feral manticore, another just thing to harass things. The Reaper Bolt Thrower, the War Hydra, and Ravagers of Rakarth's Scourge Runner Chariots, because I feel like he should have the Scourge Runner Chariots, not Mel's. I know, I get it, it's just kind of a timing and DLC thing, and I don't know. So I gave him the ROR because it's literally got his name in it. Okay, and let's go to Skaven. Quick Head Taker, we gave him 1 Storm Vermin with Sword and Shield, 2 with Halberd, 1 Warp Fire Thrower, 2 Clan Rats with Shields, and 1 Clan Rat Spear with Shields, and 1 Deathglow Bombardier. I try to spread out some of the Scryer units a little bit more, because obviously they're probably the most fun part of the Skaven roster. So I went with kind of the more armor-piercing anti-infantry stuff that doesn't usually get used for him, and I gave his artillery over to Icket. Well, let's talk about Icket, because I know you guys want to hear about Icket. 3 or 4 Skaven slaves, 1 Warp Block Jazale, 1 Warp Lightning Cannon, 2 Rattling Guns, and 1 Doom Flare. So pretty much the same, just added Warp Lightning Cannon. Lord Skrulk, 2 Plague Monks Sensor Bearers. I don't know why this is still a tier 5 unit. They're not that good. I mean, they're good. They're good. Like Frenzy and some of their abilities are really good. But they're not that good. They're not tier 5. They're tier 4 at best. Okay, and Plague Claw Catapult, 1 of those. 2 Wolf Rats with Poison, 1 Brood Horror to run with them. Or maybe it's just 1 Wolf Rat with Poison. And a Brood Horror. And then I think 4 Plague Monks. Because he gets them really cheap. And it's not like they're like very powerful. I think they're a tier 3 unit, but they feel more like a tier 2 unit. Tretch. Death Runners. 1 of those, because it works well as Devastating Flanker. So does the Doom Wheel. 2 Storm Vermin Shields. 2 Clan Rat Spear Shields. 1 or 2 Skaven Slave Spears. Deathmaster. So kind of the same or similar army. 1 Warp Grinder. 1 Poison Wind Mortar. 2 Eshin Triads. 2 Gutter Runner Poison. 2 Gutter Runner Slinger of Poison. Throt. 2 Clan Rats with Shields. 1 Skaven Slave Spear. 2 Night Runners with Slings. 2 Wolf Rats. 1 Wolf Rat. 1 Mutant Rat Ogre. 1 Hell Pit. 1 Rat Ogre. Rat Ogre and Hell Pit go at about the same speed, and Mutant Rat Ogre and Wolf Rats go about the same speed, so you kind of run them together like that. Okay, and over to the Lizardmen. The Lizardmen. So, we're going to see a lot of Blessed units in these armies. So, Lizardmen got generally a nice buff from my starting army rework. But again, their starting enemies are also strong enough to hold against them. So, Blessed Temple Guards, 2. And then also the ROR variant, Star Chamber Guardians, which gives Guardian. So you just move the Star Chamber Guardians with Mazdamundi, and he's got a nice little buff of physical resistance. 1 Blessed Bastillodon Solar Engine, 2 Pterodon Riders. This part I kind of went back and forth on if it was too powerful with everything else, but screw it, he's Mazdamundi, you know? And then 1 Bastillodon Revivification Crystal for some extra healing. Krakgar. Blessed Saurus Spears with Shields. I think 2 of those, and 1 Blessed Saurus Warriors with Shields. 2 Skankor Horde Javelins. 2 Blessed Cold One Spear Riders, and 1 Blessed Carnosaur. Lots of blessed stuff in his army. To Henna he gave 1 Blessed Croxagore, 2 Blessed Chameleon Skinks, 1 Ancient Salamander, 1 Salamander Hunting Pack, 2 Red Crested Skinks, and 1 Bastillodon Archosotek. His starting enemy can handle this, though. Or, well, in auto-resolve, at least. Okay, and then Tic-Tac-Toe. Definitely a buff for him. 2 Blessed Pterodon Riders with Fire Leech Bolas, 3 Blessed Skink Skirmishers, 1 Blessed Horn 1 Ripperdactyl Riders, and 1 Coatl. So you move the Coatl above the ground units, and they're all so you'll have ground units, but the enemy won't necessarily see them if you are in the aura. Gorok. 1 Blessed Temple Guard, which is kind of expensive, but he does buff them, so I thought give him it because he doesn't have much else. 2 Blessed Saurus Warriors with Shields, 2 Blessed Saurus Spears with Shields, 1 Bastillodon Revivification Crystal, and then obviously he has Lord Croak, so Croxagore it up on the Kai. I think we gave him 3 Blessed Croxagores, 2 Sacred Croxagores, and left with Stegodon but made it Blessed. Axolotl. So 1 Razordon Hunting Pack, which can kind of move with the Troglodon hero, the Oracle. Really put a hurting on whatever, or help put a hurting on. 2 or 3 Blessed Skank Skirmishers, 2 Chameleon Stalkers, 2 Blessed Chameleon Skanks, and I think I still left him with 2 Feral Bastillodons. Kind of use them as a tank and everything skirmishes. Okay, so DLC for Vampire, or for Game 2, Vampire Coast. Of all the lords, I'm not sure I got right Luther, because I left him with 13 units, which I think he starts with, which just feels like way too many. I think next time I'll nerf it down. But 2 Gunnery Mob, Deckhand Mob, 2 Rotting Promethean Gunnery Mob, 2 Zombie Pirate Gunnery Mob, 1 Mortar, 1 Depth Guard, because he does buff Depth Guard, and Promethean Gunnery Mob and Mortar, and just Deckhands and Gunnery Mob in general. 1 Bloated Corpse. If I think I had to do it again, I might just take out the Deckhands Mob entirely. I don't know. Count Noctilus. So he buffs large units, so that's why I gave him the animated hulks, because I don't know what other lord it really fits. So they get a little buff of their weapon strength with him, 15%. Then we have Necrofex. Deck droppers are also large, so they'll get a weapon strength boost. I gave him the bomber version. I don't know why I didn't give him the handgun version. I think I'll do that next time. And then 2 Depth Guard and 2 Pirate Gunnery Mob handguns. Aranessa, we've got 2 Free Company, 1 Carronade, 2 Scurvy Dogs, 1 Rotting Promethean, 2 Sartosa Militia, and 2 Man-Eaters with Ogre Pistols. We'll see this with Zhao Ming too, that I've added some of the, like, kind of, she gets Ogres in her unique building and Sartosa. So I thought that would be cooler, because she's not really an undead lord anyway, so that's what I kind of did here, was just take out the undead units pretty much, to focus on her being Sartosan and not undead, because she's not. So yeah, those, Solastra. 2 Bloated Corpses, 2 Polearm Deckhands, 2 Mourngulls, 2 Sirens, 2 Deck Gunners. Deck Gunners definitely feel like a better choice for her, in my opinion, over Carronade, or Nessa having Carronade's better, because she actually buffs it, and does not buff Deck Gunners. Tomb Kings. I wanted the War Sphinx back. Let's say that first. So I put that in. I do like his starting army kind of in vanilla, but here we gave him 2 skeleton archers, 2 archer chariots, 1 tomb guard, 2 halberd tomb guard, and 1 War Sphinx. Cathay, we gave him 3 Nikahara warriors, 2 Ushabti because he buffs Ushabti, 2 Nehekara horsemen, and 1 Hyro Titan. Kalita, definite buff to her army, but I wanted more snakes. I don't think she has any snakes in vanilla. Sepulchral stalkers, 2 or 3 spearmen, 2 archers, 1 Ushabti Greatbow, 1 Necropolis Knight, 1 Screaming Skull Catapult. This will really help her feel like the Snake Lady, but also use that ammunition plus 20. Of all the armies I did, Archon might be the most hodgepodge. Actually, Daniel's kind of hodgepodge. But if you really look at it, it still fits well strategically. So Carrion and Fellbats you put together, and it just represents that he is both a Tomb King and Vampire King Lord, or Vampire Count Lord. Then you put the Direwolves and the Hex Race together. You put Crypt Ghouls are your infantry, but you also have the Archer bonus of having archers. Casket of Souls because he buffs them, and give him his Tomb Scorpion back. So on to game 3, Lord. So we were just talking about Daniel. Let's talk about him. So again, it's kind of hodgepodge, but it works together if you get into the game. So Bloodletters and Nurglings are your front line. Blue Horrors are your back line. Then you have Plague Drones that can fly around with Daniel. Also for your back line, Exalted Flamer. And then you have you can put Chaos Warhounds together with your Blood Crushers maybe, and your Hellflayers with your Seekers. Move them around in that way. Let's do the other demons. Khorne. Didn't really need to go complicated with Scarbrand, right? He's already super duper powerful by himself. For all the greater demons I gave them, I changed their lesser demons to Exalted. So 2 Exalted, 2 or 3 Exalted Bloodletters of Khorne, 1 Skull Cannon, and 2 Fleshhounds of Khorne. Kairos, we gave him 2 Screamers of Tzeentch, 2 Exalted Pink Horrors of Tzeentch, 2 Flamers of Tzeentch, I know a lot of people like that, 2 Blue Horrors, and I think that's it. Slaanesh. So for Nagari, this one, I love this one. He feels so much better with this army. 2 Seeker Chariots, 2 Seekers of Slaanesh, 1 Fiend of Slaanesh, and 2 or 3 Exalted Demonettes of Slaanesh. Way more mobility. It feels like Lewin's army. Like even in vanilla, Brettonia, Lewin, his army is a lot of cavalry. So it's very mobile. I like Nakari feeling like that too. Without, I didn't give him Heart Seekers or like Exalted Seeker Chariots or Hellflayers. I didn't want to make it OP. And again, his starting enemy is buffed. Nurgle. I think we've got 2 Plague Drones of Nurgle with Death Heads. 2 Nurglings. Or 3. 2 Plague Toads of Nurgle. And 2 Exalted Plague Bearers of Nurgle. What am I missing? Oh no, I did all the lords. Okay, so now let's go into the other game 3 races. Let's go do Ogre Kingdoms. Greasus Goldtooth. So he buffs Iron Guts. I don't know why they started him with Man-Eaters. Like, just give him more Iron Guts. So I gave him 2 Iron Guts, 2 Ogre Bulls, because he also buffs Ogre Bulls, with dual weapons. Just give him like a strong, monstrous infantry core. Mournfang are like one of the most iconic units, and they're not in any of the starting armies, which is lame to me. Eventually, we'll probably get a Dark Ironskin, in which case that can be our cavalry faction. But until then, give him 2 Mournfang, 2 Noblar Trapper, 2 Noblar. Then for Scrag, 2 Noblar, 2 Noblar Trapper, 2 Gorger, 2 Saber Tusk, and you can quickly, I think after the first turn, get stock with Saber Tusk, which so you can move them around with the Gorgers, and then 2 Man-Eaters. I mean, if they're gonna put his start position in the Border Princes, then he's the one that should have Man-Eaters, not Greasus. It fits better, in my opinion, for sure. Okay, on to Kislev. So this starting army is kind of a pretty big buff, but the starting enemy was given back their mammoth. I didn't like that change. I don't know why people were complaining, just because it was challenging. Like, I like a challenge. Anywho, they also got Frost Trolls, the enemy. So we got 2 Ice Guard with Sword, 2 Ice Guard with Glaives, which is definitely powerful. 2 Griffin Legion and 1 Griffin Legion and 2 Snow Leopard. The 1 Snow Leopard by itself is just not powerful enough. But if you have 2, and this the Sisters of Slaughter I did earlier, like having the 1 Great Eagle just doesn't feel good. But having 2 Great Eagles does feel good, in my opinion. So same idea here. 2 Snow Leopards actually makes them feel like they're a threat. Okay, and Kastalton. So he buffs Kossars, what am I saying? Horse Archers, and his landmark building buffs Sleds and Little Grom. So this army feels more like him. I almost wanted to give him the Elemental Bear, but Boris is the only one that buffs Elemental Bears, I think. Zarina's landmark building might buff them too, I can't remember. Now, technically, is this loreful that an Elemental Bear would be anywhere outside of Kislev, because it's like the land coming alive? Definitely questionable whether an Elemental Bear would be outside of Kislev, if that's even a possibility. But again, he buffs them, so whatever. 1 Elemental Bear, 1 Zargard with great weapons, 2 Zargard, and 2 Warbear Riders. So you're gonna have a nice time fighting Khorne in the Chaos Realms, or the Northern Wastes. Grand Cathay. Miao Ying. We wanted to give her more missile infantry to work with, so we gave her Crane Gunners. Yeah, and Cathay has this big thing about gunpowder, and she's got, I think, no gunpowder in Vanilla starting army, so we kept the Celestial Dragon Crossbowmen, 1 Jade Warrior, 2 Spearmen, the Sky Junk, but we added 1 Crane Gunner and 2 Iron Hail Gunners, which helps make her feel like she's the ranged lady with her army. So Zhao, I love his army. I love the changes I made. So we kept the Great Longbow Rider, we kept the Fire Rain Rocket, put 2 Peasant Archers for the Yin and Yang mechanic, and added 2 Celestial Dragon Guard, or 1? 2? Because, Miao Ying gets Celestial Dragon Guard, why can't he get the melee version? But he also buffs Ogre Mercenary units, so we just put 2 Ogre Bulls in there. And did I miss anything? I think we hit everything. Right? Yeah, hit everything. So that's the mod, everybody. Yeah. Subscribe to the mod, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Thanks for the support. And you guys have a wonderful, awesome day. Bye-bye, everybody.